Hello, everybody. I'm here to have a look at Exosphere 2 from Sample Logic. Thank you for joining us. Just gonna give it a couple of minutes so that everybody who's got their alerts on their phones and everything, they can get to it and come and say hi. So hi everybody. You might be wondering who I am with this enormous beard. Not sure if I like it, but I've been stuck in the studio for weeks doing a lot of stuff and barely had time to shave or shower or any of those other shush words. So yeah, I've got a huge beard and probably look a bit of a mess, but never mind. Thanks for joining us. Hello to everybody on the chat. If you are joining us for the first time, this is a Samplecast live stream. This is where I have a look at stuff, and today's stuff is Exosphere 2 from Sample Logic. It's just been released, currently on intro offer, and will be for the next sort of 48 hours or so. So there's a link in the description if you want to find out more information about it. I did the walkthrough videos, 3 different walkthrough videos for this one, so I know a bit about it, I would say. And yeah, I think there's me. Hi everybody. I think it's a pretty cool product. There's a hell of a lot of work gone into it, I know, from the Sample Logic guys, because we've been chatting. And yeah, basically what I'm going to do in the live stream is to check out some of the sounds, show you some of the functions. If you've seen Arpology 2, it's a bit like that, but it has a few big differences, so I'll go through those. But also, most importantly, and I'm under no illusions that most people tune in for, is the giveaways. I am giving away $50 vouchers from Sample Logic, and there's 5 of them. They are right here. The Sample Hound is taking care of them. So at certain points during the show, I'm going to be doing a giveaway draw. There'll be a numbers chosen. Basically, a random number generator is going to choose a number between 1 and 1,000, and people in the chat are going to guess what number it is, and you'll get 1 guess each. Whoever's close is the winner, and we'll do that 5 times during the show during the next hour or so. Hello Deborah Clark, I was just playing around with XO2. Cool, let me know what you think of it in the chat. Do join us in the chat. That's the only way that you can get hold of those vouchers and enter the giveaway, and also you can talk to me, you can ask me questions. I'm feeling pretty chilled and relaxed tonight, so this is going to be a very kind of relaxed live stream, I think. No craziness, no pounding beats. The sounds of Exosphere 2 are all pretty chilled out, nice atmospheres, drones, ambiences, soundscapes, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be quite a chilled out time. Obviously I'm streaming in HD. That does mean that when I change patches in Exosphere 2, as you'll have noticed here, you've got about a 3 or 4 second delay, so you'll have to bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves whilst I'm changing those patches. But that's just because on my system I'm doing a lot of stuff. The webcam's going, the streaming's going, the sound cards are going. My goodness. Yeah, I'm not surprised the system's stressing out. Let me know if the voice is too loud, the instrument's too loud, anything like that. I'll try and correct it as we go along. Hello to everybody new that's joining us: Neil, Deborah, Douglas, Tor. Some regulars there, some new faces. Hello. If you've not seen this before, I'm Ruben. I'm a composer and music journalist, and well, I used to say I was host of the Samplecast every week, but there hasn't been a Samplecast for about 5 months because I've been absolutely frantic with work and a few personal matters, but I do try and put these live streams together for you guys. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be of use. So let's dig in. I'm going to play through a few of the presets to begin with, and then we'll have a giveaway, and then we'll get into it a bit deeper. Let's have a look at the preset browser. I hope I'm using the right version of this because I had a beta version that had a few janky graphics. So if you see anything wonky on the graphics, it's probably because I'm using an old version. But we'll see how we get on. So you can play across the keyboard. Playable range is blue. Let's go for it. Just going to play some of the presets. You get that weird noise when it's loading because, as I say, I'm running lots of stuff. Stuff there. So I don't know how many patches there are on this. I'll go through the stats in a minute and have a little look. If there's anything particularly you want to hear, or if you want me to do anything with the instrument, show off any of the effects, I'm going to go through a lot of this stuff anyway, but if you want me to show off any of this stuff particularly, do let me know as we go through. I'm just going to give you a feel of it. Neil Anderson Himmelspec says, is it playing 4 samples at a time? Yes, it is. That's the basic concept of Exosphere. 2, which I'll go into in a bit more detail, is basically playing 4 atmosphere samples at the same time, and they're each being run through various effects and then mixed together to create the sound, the full crazy sound that you hear. But you can slim things down by just playing 1 sample. You can mute whichever ones you like, really. Hi, Henry. So that's just 1 sample, for example. Sample for example. Tongue twister. Right. Let's get into the good stuff. Oh my goodness, there's questions coming in already. They've done a nice job on updating the interface. Looks really clean. All new samples in this version, says Simeon. Yes, I'm led to believe there are all new samples in this version. To be honest, when I was doing the walkthrough videos, I was checking out the samples and things, and I kind of thought, well, I'm not really sure why they've called it Exosphere 2, because the engine's totally different and the samples are all different. They could well have called it Atmosphere Creator 1 or, something. Marketing's not my strong point. Something like that. But they've called it Exosphere 2, but it's all new stuff. New engine, new samples, new way of working. That's what's cool about it. The samples, by the way, are from a lot of very cool companies. They've done basically a collaboration with Black Octopus, and I'm going to read them out from the website just so you can see. Black Octopus Sound, Audio Imperia, I think, or Audio Modern. Can't blimmin' find it on the website now. Loop Masters have contributed some as well. I put the information in the videos, so watch the videos, you'll see. Sample tracks, I think, were in there as well. Anyway, it's a collaboration with lots of different stuff. Oh, more questions coming. Can we add our own samples as well? That could be handy. Nope, not as far as I know. You can't. Let's see, under the hood. Maybe you could like drag and drop stuff. I wouldn't know where to find it. I mean, that's the sample there. I'm not going to say that you can because I've not tried it and I don't know the best way to do it. So, sample logic, if there's an easy way to do this, please let me know. But people are obsessed with putting their own samples in engines. I don't know why. I like to kind of do stuff in the DAW and mix stuff together. If I'm going to do something myself, I don't know why I'd use somebody else's engine to do it. But I always see on VI Control, people are like, I can't put my own samples in this engine. Well, to me, that's not really the point. The point is you get the engine, you get the samples, it all works together as one. Duke says, can you edit these samples? You can. I'll show you how to do that. Deborah says, is it possible to save your own XY presets? Can you save them? Can't remember. You can save the patches. You can save like an NKI, and what you've programmed is saved along with them. Are Exosphere and Exosphere 2 completely discrete and independent programs, or do they combine into one bigger program? Herb says that they are completely discrete. They are independent programs. Exosphere, well, the original Exosphere looks completely different. I'll tell you what, let me give some money away and then I'll go into that. So, anyone who's on the chat, if you're not in the chat, if you're watching on YouTube or the Samplecast site, do nip over to the chat, because it's the only way you're going to be able to win the $50 vouchers. So here in my little hand, I have a number between 1 and 1,000. Everybody gets one guess, and put your guess in the chat when I say go, and you get one guess. I'm going to reveal what it is after 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Let me play some presets. Make your guess, a number between 1 and 1,000. Off you go, guys. Go. Keep your guesses coming in. Let's do a pitch bend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Stop guessing. Stop guessing. Okay, let me. The video on my end takes a few seconds to come through, so give me a sec, and we'll go for it. Right, stop guessing. You only get one guess each. Mark Croc, stop guessing more than once, you little cheater. So the number is 581. Someone's going to have to help me out and tell me who was the closest, so I don't have to scroll through too many. It was 581. The closest person is Techolite Music, I think. Oh no, HQ Factory. HQ Factory got exactly the right number. I don't think that's ever happened before. Oh my goodness. I should have a special prize for guessing the right one. My God. That's amazing. Well done, HQ Factory. I'm going to write on these numbers this time because I always forget. So the thing to do, HQ Factory, is to email me at thesamplecast@gmail.com, and I will send you that $50 voucher as soon as the live stream is finished. Can't believe it. Incredible. HQ Factory. It happens to me all the time. Does it? Well, maybe you should give that voucher away. That is so not fair. Right, let me answer some of those questions that came in. Scrolling back. Okay. Neil says, I mix in the DAW. Some engines have great effects. I like to use the wonderful effects of my own samples. I do love what Exosphere has to offer. Was just curious. Yep, that's a good point. Sorry, Neil, I probably dismissed you out of hand with my can you stick your samples in the engine comment. Mock Croc, what version of Contact do you need for this? It'll run on, I believe, Contact 5.8 point something. System requirements. Look, I can even show you the system requirements. Oh, look at that. I have the technology. System requirements are version 5.8.1 or higher. I'm running on Contact 6 at the moment. But yeah, it will run on 5.8.1. Nothing prior to that. Interestingly, the specs are here as well. So there's over 1,000 sound sources, nearly 500 sound cores, over 500 multi-core instruments. I'll go through what all those are separately, and you've got about 13 gigs of stuff going on there as well. So somebody had a question about Exosphere and Exosphere 2. I think it was Herb. Yeah, let me just open this up for a second. You're not going to be able to see me while I do it, but I have got Exosphere, and Exosphere is a completely different engine. Let me see if I can bring that up and show you. if I can find it. Who'd have thought I would have so many sample libraries? Well, everybody, because I've been doing this job for a while. Exosphere is here, and it looks like this. I'm not here to talk about Exosphere, but here it is. Yeah, Exosphere is a completely different engine. It's still 4 cores, and actually each of those cores have 2 sounds. But Exosphere 2, the concept has been refined, and the sounds have been expanded. So the sounds are more complex, and you get 4 of them running simultaneously. In Exosphere 2, the sounds aren't quite as complex. You get 8 of them. I have used Exosphere on various compositions. It was on a good discount quite recently, and if you're an owner of Exosphere, you can pick up Exosphere 2 on a cross grade. You get a little bit off. I think it's $50 because Exosphere 2 is a completely new product. But yeah, I mean, Exosphere is a classic, but it does run completely differently. It's a completely separate product to Exosphere 2. So yeah, we're not going to go too much into that. Right, I'm back to Exosphere 2. Shamraka Shara says, wow, on the engine upgrade. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hi, Anil. Anil's here as well. So, yeah, keep those questions coming. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going to run through sound creation and the browser, I think. So this is the browser. Anyone who's used Sample Logic stuff in the last couple of years will recognise kind of similar browser in some of the products. This browser has a huge amount of presets, either multi-instrument presets or you've got individual core presets. So that's just one of the 4 sounds that you can load, or source sounds. They've all got interesting names, apart from the source sounds, which are just called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 1020. The multi-instruments and the cores all have tagged browsing. So if you want something that sounds metallic, you've got that lo-fi, you've got that thick voices, echoey, all of that stuff is in there, and you can do multiple tag searching. So heavy metallic, for example. Let's pick one at random. Heavy, man. Goes a bit scratchy with my system when I'm trying to load and play. Whee! Listen to that. Don't know what's going on with that sound, but that is lovely. I mean, all the sounds are pretty thick. I have read comments from people before saying, you know, Sample Logic have great sounds, but they're so thick. And yeah, I mean, you can do a complete underscore with just like holding down 1 or 2 keys. But if you want to, you can edit those sounds down, you can filter them, you can isolate individual sounds. So you've got lots of different options. Not everything has to sound super thick, but obviously the multi-core, multi-instrument presets, they're designed to kind of show off the instrument as much as possible. So yeah, they're going to be pretty huge sounding. I must stop drinking all this Coke. Sponsored by Cherry Coke tonight. Questions. Do you know why it doesn't load through native access? Yes, basically because it's not a Contact player library, so you will need the full version of Contact for this. Doesn't bother me, doesn't bother some people, but some people do only have Contact player, in which case I would recommend waiting for Black Friday, and Contact full version normally goes on a discount of 50%. It certainly has for the last couple of years, so do pick up the full version of Contact. But yeah, Contact player is prohibitive for some library development, just for the fact that you have to commit to Native Instruments to selling purchasing licenses from them. So you kind of have to predict, you know, how many products you're going to sell, and it's all a bit of a gamble. And I think, you know, with a big engine like this, it's a new engine, it's a new product. There's collaboration sounds from a lot of different developers in there. So yeah, Sample Logic have already spent some cash, I would guess, to get this up and running. So you know, obviously they do want a lot of people to be able to use it, but they're not sure of how. I'm presuming they're not sure of how, you know, the new product's going to go down and the new engine and everything like that. So maybe looking ahead, you'll get a Contact Player version, but at the moment it just runs in the full version of Contact. But any composer worth their salt should have the full version of Contact anyway. It enables you to go under the hood, fiddle about. You know, you can edit stuff, you can change effects, you can go really deep with the full version of Contact. Even more so than the huge amount of flexibility that you've got in Exosphere itself. But yeah, pick it up on Black Friday. The full version of Contact will probably be half price, maybe. They've just released Contact 6, so let's see. Shamrakashara says, is this 16 or 24-bit? 24 bits, it says right there. It's quite essential, really. My advice would be, if you're picking up sample libraries, do check for the bitrate, mainly because with time stretching, which a lot of sample libraries do these days, not just synthy ones and atmosphere ones like this, but also you know, kind of orchestral ones, anything that has a loop which is going to be time stretched and manipulated within Contact. You're going to want as high a bit rate as possible because there's less artifacts. That's definitely something which the developers here have thought of, because you know, you're looking at 24-bit samples the whole way. The samples are really long. I'm going to show you just what you can do with some of the samples. If you click on one core, it will take you to the sample editing section, and you've actually got the full length of sample here. Now you can see how long this atmosphere is. It's going to take me ages to play it through. Deborah says it's nice to see the library in the sidebar with the others. Yeah, it's good to be organised and have that all there. You know, when I'm looking for libraries personally, the sort of thing I'm going for is what's easy for me to access. So I either use the quick load menu in Contact, or I use the sidebar of Contact. So yeah, Deborah, I can completely appreciate what you're saying. So yeah, really long samples. I mean, there's a lot of effects on that. I can get rid of all the effects and play what the sample sounds like just on its own. These are the master effects that affect the entire bus. The individual effects are all here. And you've got an adjustable start point. So if there's a particular part of the sample that you like and you want to go straight into, can you hear that? Is that loud enough? Yeah, you can adjust the start point of any of those 4 samples that you've got, 4 source samples. You can also change out the samples super quickly and easily. I tend to find that the individual samples are quite quiet in themselves because every one of the presets is stacking up for the samples, but you can raise up the gain. You know, you can use any of the effects on here. I'm really getting ahead of myself. We're not going to talk about the effects yet. We're still on the browser. So let me quickly run through the browser. Someone was asking me questions about favoriting, saving stuff. Yeah, both is possible. If you've got particular multi-instruments or core presets that you love, you can just go bish bash bosh, make the little hearts fly, and click on favorites, and then it will filter by all those favorites. Nice and easy, and it'll actually remember all those options as well when you quit at the instrument and reload. I'm not going to do it. right now, but yeah, they'll be recalled. I don't know how that works, but it definitely does work. I've used it before. So they're the favourites. You've got source previews. So when you click on a particular multi-core preset, I keep calling them multi-core presets in this. I think they're called something else. Multi-instruments. You can see the previews of what's going to come up in terms of the waveforms, and also the tag previews at the bottom there. The presets are all consist. You can sort of imagine them as two parts. Herb says, "How do you enter to win a voucher?" Hold on, Herb, and I'll give another one away in a minute. Kurt says, "Are there WAV source files I can use in other apps?" No, I don't believe they're WAVs. I can check that. Maybe Sample Logic can nip in on the chat and check it without me having to open the file structure and have a look. I don't think they're WAVs. I think it's all encoded. Can you reverse? No, you can't reverse. Just FYI. You could obviously bounce the sound out, reverse it in your DAW. That's probably what I would do. Someone says, "I'm digging the new Exosphere 2. Grabbed it recently, and while I miss having quick access in Contact, I've had fun playing with the sound generation. Nicely done, Sample Logic." Yeah, I would agree. It's one of the most fun way to play. Roy says, "Does the software support MPE for Rolly C boards?" I don't have a Rolly C board. I have no plans on getting a Rolly C board. Reason being that I tried one out at NAMM a couple of years ago, and I just couldn't get on with it at all. I just found it sticky on my fingers. I didn't really like the feel of it. I gather that response has improved somewhat over the last couple of years, and I was trying a kind of a pre-release version. But I don't know how the Rolly C board interface works in terms of MIDI manipulation. You can probably map stuff using external MIDI programs, or maybe do it in the DAW. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you can do certain things with this, just like you can with any instrument in Contact and the C board. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Mock Croc, oh my goodness, so many questions coming in. Mock Croc, do you think this is a big addition to owning Morphestra 2? Right, Morphestra 2, I don't use a huge amount. Actually, I'll tell you, I did use it a lot when it came out. I just always tend to end up using the thing that I'm working with at the time. So, you know, over the last few months I was getting involved with Exosphere 2 and some of the rhythmology stuff. And that's what ended up on my tracks, just because it's newer stuff. So, you know, if you like the sound of Morphestra 2, it's made by the same guys. Quality-wise, both excellent, different kind of sounds. This is really more about ambiences and, you know, timbres around that kind of ballpark, ambiences, tonal stuff. Morphestra 2 is more wide in its scope, I think, but there's probably plenty of people on the chat that have both. So, right, I'm gonna finish with this browser if it kills me. I was saying ages ago about each of the presets being in essentially two parts. So one part is the source sounds, which you can see loaded up here, and the other part is the effects that the source sounds run through, either on the effects menu here, the mixing, or the mastering. So each preset has its own it loads up everything brand new, the sounds and the effects, mixing and mastering. But in the preset browser, Sample Logic split it into two different distinct filter categories, source and effects. So if you want to, you can keep what you've got in the engine, and you can load up either the source or the effects. So how does that work? It's easiest for me to show you with just one core. So let's just activate core 4. That's what Core 4 sounds like. Actually, let's load a preset on Core 4. So this is Cold Winters, which is uses atmosphere source 0253. Going into the browser again. Now I can either filter by source or effects. So let's say, for example, just listen to that sound for a sec. Now if I filter via one of these and choose a different preset, I get the same effects but different sources in that particular case. Let me see if I can show you. Just load up another one. Sorry, I think it's the same sources and different effects. Yeah. So we've got the same source sound, 0253 on Core 4, and I'm just activating those different effects from the different presets. So can you hear how, even though the source sound is exactly the same, the amount of effects that are being loaded up on these three windows here make a huge difference to the sound. So that means that not only have you got all the presets that are set up here, but if you like the sound, or if you just want to go like crazy with the random control, you can update the just the effects and not the source, or just the source and not the effects. Let's find something with some really distinct effects. One of the presets. Hold on. So that's good. It's kind of a stuttery. Now if I do it the other way around and choose a preset, you'll see the source sound change, but the effects will stay the same, so it should still be quite stuttery. He says. See, it depends what you've got thrown into the mix. Let me just isolate Core 4 again. Which one was that stuttery one? Core 1? That was Core 1. Or was it? Maybe 2. Do you get the idea? Do you see? I don't think I'm explaining this very well, but yeah, basically all the presets consist of sounds and effects, and you can load up either the sounds or the effects and retain the other, or you can load up both. Does that make sense? Please tell me I'm not talking nonsense on this, because that would be very disappointing. I need to give away more money. More money. That's what everyone's waiting for, not for my garbled explanation of Exosphere 2. Okay, so again, Exosphere 2 has just over 1,000 presets. There is a number between 1 and 1,000 written on this little bit of paper. I'm going to play some music for 15 seconds, and you're going to guess one guess each, a number between 1 and 1,000. Off you go. Should we do that crazy pitch bend thing again? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stop your guesses. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to have a little sneak preview, see what this is. Okay, it's a number between 1 and 1,000. Everybody gets one guess. NC66, you've had 2 guesses. No cheating, please. Other people will call you out and they'll get really annoyed. So the number is 842 Who's got nearest to 842? Oh, someone got 872. 876, 842. Ooh. This is all so nerve-wracking, trying to get this done quickly. I think it was whoever got 872, unless that's Stephen Parolini. Is it Stephen Parolini? Somebody tell me. Stephen Parolini. I'm writing your name down on this right now, Stephen. So, Stephen, please email me at thesamplecast@gmail.com, and I will send you your $50 voucher. Oh, by the way, you can spend your voucher on Exosphere 2 if you want, even though it's a new release. So that's pretty nice. Thank you, Sample Logic. You are very kind. Yeah. Stephen, email me thesamplecast@gmail.com. I'll get that voucher to you. So, okay, I want to talk a little bit more about the filters and the let me just check for questions. 1 second. The filters and the different effects. Shamraka says any gate or stutter effects or ARP in the effects section. Yes, there are effects animators. Herb says please demonstrate the spiritual ethereal tagged setup, please. Okay. Very specific request. I can do that. Spiritual and ethereal. So these are everything that's tagged spiritual ethereal. There's quite a lot of them. I'll tell you what, I'll go for the spiritual ethereal and organic. That'll maybe cut down a little bit. I hope you're listening, Herb, because these are for you. Wow. I've been playing with Exosphere 2 for a month, and I've never listened to this particular preset. Jeez! Isn't that vocal? Wowzers. Where's that vocal coming from? I'm going to track down that vocal. So lovely. It's not that one. That one. Angel of Lust 0701. So nice, eh? So you can see what they've done with that preset. They've cut it in halfway through the sample so the vocal comes straight in. So what I like about this, and something that I did a little bit of in the videos, is that you can go into the just more or less do everything from the main menu. If you like that particular source, atmosphere source 0701, you could keep that and you can randomize the rest, or you can manually choose other sources to kind of build on that sound. Let's turn them all on. Turn them all on. Hold on. Hold your horses. Let me just reset that. Where's the music? Where's the music? Probably my sound cards just managed to go wrong, which is great. I was loving that. Right, remember that 0701. Why have I got no sound coming out now? Oh, my goodness. Let's go back. I did something wrong there, but I don't know what. OBS messed around with my system. 0701. There we go. So yeah, if I like that one, I can change the other sources, I can change the other chords. pause, which include all the effects and things as well. And I show you another option while I'm at it. You can actually reset back to the original preset just using that little icon there. So if I love that particular sound and I want to isolate it in a different way, I can do this. I can change the key ranges that the samples play on using these little icons underneath. So let's put that vocal towards the bottom of the keyboard and we'll push everything else up towards the top. Just want to make it really obvious what I'm doing here. There, see what happened with the keys? As I'm moving things up and down, we've got different key ranges for different stuff. So, for example, that Angel of Lust Atmos Source 0701, that's only going to play on that bottom section of the keyboard because that's where I've got it highlighted. And I've set the other ranges to higher up. Now what's happening? That's too low. So let's transpose it. Now I'm just playing that chord 3 at the bottom of the keyboard. And everything else up at the top. You can separate stuff super easily like that. It's really nice to be able to do that from the main screen without having to jimmy around in the effects, mixing and mastering sections. I quite appreciate that. Yeah, I could play with that. I could play with that for a while. Sorry, Herb, I was getting onto the spiritual and ethereal stuff and got stuck with that one particular patch and loved it so much I couldn't stop messing about with it. I'll give you a quick blast of a couple of the other ones. Simeon says, let's hear some random patches. Yeah, I'll do that. Gurgly Sota, so good to hear that there are many variables of sounds. It seems infinite possibilities. Yeah, well, you could probably calculate how many possibilities there are, but I'm not going to try. It's got to be an awful lot with all the different variables. All these ethereal ones seem to have some sort of, you know, vocal kind of thing. There is a voices filter, so you could filter by that as well. That same sample. Come on, let's get something different in there. Spooky stuff. Simeon, let's hear some random patches. Yeah, I'll show you how the randomize doobry works. So this is something that's carried over from Arpology 2 and a couple of other sample libraries that Sample Logic do. Basically, you can filter the randomization. So with most sample libraries, most companies, you hit random and it comes up with some absolutely random thing. But there might be things that you want to keep. There might be certain effects that you want to keep. Might be source sounds that you want to keep. And you can do that. You can do that super easily. Mock Croc says, what do you think of the interface color? What do I think of the interface color? I think it's nice. The only thing I would say is it's very similar to Arpology 2, which came out quite recently, in terms of the color palette. So yeah, it's nice. They're both nice, but maybe they could have gone a bit brighter, a bit darker, slightly different color. Yeah, just to differentiate one product from the other. So this is how randomization works. This is the sound that I'm working with. let's say I want to keep all the sources, so I won't check that, but I want to change just the master effects, which are the effects on the end of the chain, just here. Sometimes this throws up some very loud stuff, so I'll just nip that down a bit. Okay, that's all it's going to change. Ready, go. It's going to be a very subtle change because it's just adding different effects. See how that works? So I'm hitting random. Stressing my system out here. I'm hitting random and it's only changing those effects. Now let's say that I want to change the core 2 and the core 4 samples, just the source sounds, none of the effects or anything like that. I can do that. So click the source, click core 2 and core 4. I'm not going to play them in advance, just let's see how it goes. Hit random. So 2 and 4 have changed again. Herb Ernst, you are coming up with some good stuff on the chat. Many of Exosphere 2's sounds and patches make me smile spontaneously without rational analysis, and that's great for the essence of ambient sounds. I would agree. So you can hear what's happening there? The sources are changing on 2 and 4 because that's what I've selected on randomization. Let's change no source. Let's change no sources, but let's change the core effects chain on all of the cores. This is going to sound completely random. So you can see what's happening. You can filter the randomization hugely. Of course, what most people think of randomization is changing the sounds. That can be done, but it's quite cool to find a preset where you like the particular gist of it first. So let's say you wanted a kind of glitchy thing. Let's find something that's glitchy. Sort of glitchy, not glitchy enough for me. Sorry if you answered this, but can you loop one sample as other samples play? To a certain extent you can, Mock Croc. I mean, all the samples loop. I'm not holding the key down for long enough for you to hear them loop because they're so long. You can see that there. But yeah, I mean, if you hold the key down, they loop. They're very, very long. Let me just solo that sample. You could loop just the end of it, like indefinitely, but it would go back round to the start. You see, this is just a start marker. So yeah, in terms of the looping, it's not really the product for that. Looping stuff is more covered by rhythmology, I would say. Some of the arpology stuff loops quite nicely as well. I mean, this loops nicely, but it's not a rhythmic instrument to a certain extent. You can do rhythmic stuff with it with the effects, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But yeah, it's not super designed like that. So listen, we've got a cool sound there, and this is the sort of randomization that people would think of, randomizing all the sources. So same kind of feel, but different sounds. Right, before I get too waylaid, should we do another giveaway? My God, I've been doing this for 50 minutes already. About time to give some money away. Okay, here's the third one. I only want to see one guess from people this time, please. You are cheeky, you lot. And yeah, let's have a little play. Don't forget, if you want to check out Exosphere and see all the presets, see all the videos that I've done, hear some of the presets. I've done videos on a lot of other stuff as well. Head to the link in the description below. You can check it out. So this is a number between 1 and 1,000. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds to guess it. Here we go. Put your guesses in now. This is such a weird sound. 5, 4, 3, 2. That was fun. Stop guessing. Stop guessing. Oh, I love that pitch bend up. Stop guessing. Right, the magic number that we need is 781. Who's got it? Who's got closest to 781? Oh, so many people in this chat guessing. It's hard for me to find. 781 is either Arnold, you are cheating. I can see you just guessed 781. I think the closest is probably Marketing the Cool Way. 781. I think it's Marketing the Cool Way. Okay, Marketing the Cool Way. What kind of name is that, by the way? Who are you? What's your real name, Marketing the Cool Way? I'm not going to write Marketing the Cool Way on this bit of paper. But you've won $50 from Sample Logic. So yeah, drop me an email, thesamplecast@gmail.com. Jim Crook, that is your real name. Thank you. Don't be hiding behind your internet pseudonyms out there, posting trolling messages to me. Jim Cook. Now everyone's going to know who you are. Jim, send me an email at send me an email to thesamplecast@gmail.com. I'll sort you out with a $50 voucher. You can spend it on Exosphere. 2, you can spend it on anything you want from Sample Logic. Or you can wait till Black Friday and see what they've got on offer. Dunno. They haven't told me nothing. Right. Let's talk about effects. I'll start with the XY pad in the middle here. You might have seen it whizzing around on some of the instruments. It's basically a morphing tool to morph between these these 4 cores. Now, I never used the morphing tool too much in Exosphere 2. Apology 2, which is what this engine is sort of based on, because I found it sometimes a bit jaggedy, but they've definitely smoothed out the performance here in terms of the morphing between the sounds. Can you hear that? It's nice and smooth. So you can drag that around with your mouse, or you can do what I do and use two knobs. Yes, I have 2 knobs. Don't tell anyone. 2 knobs on my Complete Control keyboard to kind of live program it. So you can stick it on latch, and then I can use my 2 hands. As if by magic. See what's happening there? I like to do that. That's fun. Or you can set it up to trigger each time you play a note. And you can use some of the presets to do that. You have to press play, otherwise it doesn't work. Can you automate the morphing tool, says Mockcroc. Yes, I'm doing it now, right now. So impatient. So that's a preset. There's plenty of those. Some of them are really weird. But you can set them up yourself if you don't like any of those. So, you just have to wait till the sound stops. Stop. Some of these sounds go on. Stop. Okay. We're going to record a sound. So, sorry, record a movement rather. My pedal's gone wonky. So that's record mode. Then when you put it into play mode, see how that works? You can also change the number of options. You can change the movements forwards, backwards, ping pong, different kind of speeds, all of that jazz. So that's pretty fun. Don't think you can save. Someone was asking me about saving the XY presets. It's not a lot of point. It's so quick to program them. You could save it. They'll obviously save along with your project or individual patches that you want to save as well, because you can load and save stuff just there on these two buttons if you're into that kind of thing. I just tend to save with my DAW really, so not super important to me. Let's chat about the effects. Let's have another different preset. Trouble with this instrument, and I find myself saying this whenever I do a walkthrough of Sample Logics, is that all I want to do is just play stuff, go through presets, play things, and just go, ooh, it sounds so lovely, because it does. And it's a bit tough to kind of show all the ins and outs of things. If you want a really sort of concise video of what I've gone on about for too long here, then yeah, do look at the Sample Logic website. My 3 videos that I made for them are on there. So head to the in detail video. You'll be able to see what I'm going on about in a little bit more of a structured fashion. Okay, these were the sounds, 4 different sounds. Each of these 4 different sounds has 4 different banks of effects. Each one has 1 bank of effects, but you can change whatever effects you want. You can see here loads of different effects. So let's just isolate one core 1, just solo it. Excuse me, this Coke is driving me crazy. So the sound on its own, without any effects, and I'm going to turn the mastering off as well. Turn all those effects off. Sound on its own sounds like this. I'll also turn all the stuff off on this page too. Oh, the LFOs! I've got to get into the LFOs. It's cool. Okay, so this is the sound as is, just on its own, 1 core. I think. I'm pretty sure I've turned everything off. Deborah says, where are the save files supposed to be? Which folder? You can set up your own folders. I think mine goes in data, save script array from data, but yeah, I guess you can choose your own folders there. And it just saves as an NKA file. So there are a number of presets for the effects. Ugh. And you've got 6 effects in each bank. You can turn them all on or off, and they all can have automation on there. So you can see this little sequence of debris going along. Tick, 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 tick. And what happens with those... You know what? Why is it still going? I'm not playing the sound. I've got something locked on. Okay, stop now. Good. I told you I was probably playing with a beta version of this. I bet I am. So weird. Okay, so you've got animation controls for those effects. So let's just take one as an example. This is lo-fi. Oh, now I've got to reset everything. Oh no, I haven't. It's fine. So this is lo-fi. Different note divisions for the effects. And in terms of lo-fi, sample rate is the one which is automated. See that there? Got a little line around sample rate. It's not the same on each one. For example, on twang, it's the high. Rotator, it's the wet. Different things for each one. So, turn the animation on. And nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? You know what? Screw this lo-fi. Try something else. There. Cabinets. Right, see that cabinet? It's on the low control there. You can actually also change the cabinets, which I don't think I even pointed out on the walkthrough videos. There's presets. You can fiddle with those. Change the timing. Listen to that. You could do some cool stutter effect. Couldn't you? Nice. So that's rather lovely. You can do that to all 6 all of the 6 effect slots. Craziness. And they can all have independent speeds, they can all have independent settings, presets, effects. My god, just a huge amount of stuff. And this is only one core, don't forget. If I turn on all the cores, you know, you could stick a different set of effects on every single core. No idea how long this must have taken to program all the presets. These guys are crazy. That's, yeah, insane. Let's just try core 4 for a minute. You have to have the animation on for it to work. Can you see what's happening? Am I explaining this well? Anyway, that's the effects page. So each of those cores has its own effects page. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it works. Then these all feed into the mixing controls. 1, 2, 3, 4. On there you've got, let's go back to core 1. Okay, just turn the volume down to that a bit. Each core has independent volume, panning, low cut and high cut controls. That filter thing that adjusts the curve. Oh my god, I can't think of the name of it now. Oh jeez, I need to get some sleep. No, not resolution. Resonance. You can also tie the velocity to the high cut value as well, which works nicely. There's attack and release controls for nice sort of like feeding in to the sound. Energy is a sort of a saturation. And then there's a number of different EQ presets. You can adjust the intensity of those. I'm going mad. More cherry coke. Yes. Stefan asks, is it free Contact 6 player compatible? No, it is not. You have to pick up the full version of Contact. So that's nice. Let me just turn off the... just go back to the effects page a minute and turn off those effects, because I want to show you what the LFOs do. Sorry, we're on number 1. Get it right. There we go. Okay, we're on the right one. You can reset everything by control clicking, by the way. So this is a new addition to Exosphere 2 that I had a lot of fun with, and yeah, I like it. It's the LFO control, which can control the volume, the low cut filter, or the high cut filter, and there's 3 different LFOs. You can control them, the speed independently on each one, the intensity, the LFO shape, and how fast the LFO fades in. So let's say, for example, we want some like cool gating effect on this sort of sustained pad. We can choose the square wave, whack up the intensity, and let's say we don't want it to start immediately, we want it to fade in after a while. On 4th notes. See how that works? We can get some really cool stutter effects if you turn up the speed. Nice. Of course you can change things around. This is random. That's just the volume. Now we could also do a similar effect with the low and high cut. That works quite well with the high cut. I've been experimenting with that before, because it sort of like squelches the sound down. If you turn up the res, really spacey. So you could do an independent low cut LFO as well. And you could make that really long actually. That would sound pretty cool. So it's just another level of animation. Have I explained that well? Can you see what's going on there? Basically 3 LFOs, can assign them to volume, low cut and high cut filters and go crazy. And of course you heard it there without any of the effects on the effects page. Once you start to add those in, and there's all sorts of harmonics running over each other, you get some really cool things going on with the LFOs. That's just one example. Because there's 4 different channels, 1, 2, 3, 4 different sounds, 4 different sources. Go crazy with those effects, and don't forget that these the effects, everything I've been showing you now, they're in the presets as well. So about 20 minutes ago, when I was going through the different presets, and you wanted to load up the individual effects and not the sound sources, all of those are pre-programmed. So yeah, you're going to get some nice changes going on there. Right, before I get into the mastery panel, let's do, how many more of these have I got? Oh, I've got 2 more to give away. $50 voucher. Let's do it. Guess your numbers between 1 and 1,000. Oh, some more questions. I'll do that afterwards. Guess your numbers between 1 and 1,000. Here we go. 20 seconds starting now. Keep those numbers coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stop with the guessing. Stop with the guessing. It's the stop with the guessing song. Okay, stop with the guessing. This number is... I did this number random number generator earlier. 977. That's a high one. 977. Randy B guessed 900. Is that the biggest one? I reckon so. I think it's Randy B. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. But I think, Randy, you've got your $50 Sample Logic voucher. I've decided it's you. See? Randy B. Email me, thesamplecast@gmail.com. That's thesamplecast@gmail.com. I will rush you that voucher as soon as I've got this live stream done and dusted. I'm only going to spend about another 10 minutes, to be honest, guys. Keep the questions coming. I'll try and wrap some up. I'll just talk about the last little bit of the effects chain in Exosphere 2, and then I'll play some random presets. Just I like playing the presets, they're nice. So the last little bit of the effects chain is the mastering page. It's basically where everything gets summed together from the 4 cores, and it looks a little like this. Again, you've got options for effects, over 20 I think in there. There are also different effects chains that you can play through. Or one of the cool things I like to do, and I showed you a little bit earlier, is to just load the master effects up as random. Always a bit of a surprise with those. So you've got 6 effects you can turn on and off. There's all different sorts of parameters for the effects. I mean, you know, they've got nice graphics and everything, but they're essentially the effects that you get with Contact. They've just been tweaked by Sample Logic to really get the best out of them. Hopefully no nasty surprises when you start to load them. The Contact 5 and 6 effects are good anyway. The compression has a number of different presets as well. And everything else has got the usual controls that you'd expect. So Tape Saturator has warmth controls, Reverb has size, dampening, wet and dry effects. One cool thing I like to do, and something I was doing I was creating a sample pack for somebody the other day and using a lot of kind of pull stretch samples and just using the reverb tails. It's a really cool trick that I like to do, because it really obliterates what the original sample was. So yeah, you get that good idea. Turn your reverb all the way up to wet, and if you've got a crazy colour, dampening, and a big size on the reverb, it gives a really nice kind of washy sound. Let's just randomise those sources and you'll see what I mean. So that's what it sounds like with 100% wet. You can see it once you put it over to dry, you get a much more pronounced sound, but with these ambiances and stuff, I like the effect of the wet. TJ Lloyd says, it's all very drifts and drones. Drifts and drones. What's it like on harmonic progressions? Well, you can play harmonic progressions. I mean, you've got I think 4-5 octave range on the keyboard, something like that. Some of the patches are more set up for that than others. I will say that it is, it's atmospheres, it's drones. The best thing to do is play in octaves, or the fifths and sevenths work quite nicely as well, but not with all the patches. So the best thing to do is kind of choose the harmonic ones from the preset list, and that gives you a little bit of a better idea of where you can go with harmonic progressions. It's like an F major. It will vary depending on what's in the atmospheres, because these are, a lot of the atmospheres have overtones, they have harmonics. They're not just limited to a 12-tone scale. There's a lot of other stuff going on there, so they're not always going to sound perfect when you play them as chords on the piano. See what I mean? That was an F major, but it didn't sound like a major chord at all because of what's happening within all the samples themselves. I think there was some, was it acoustic? Can't remember now. There were some that were more geared up for this than others, but it's a little bit, I have to say, it's a little bit potluck, because it does really depend on the content of the samples. Freaky sounding. So yeah, 4 cores mixed all together. Disable them, enable them, do what you need to make them as light or as juicy as you want. Run them through the XY pad. Mix them with all the different effects. Run them into the mixing desk where you can filter them, change the volume, panning, saturate them, do your thing, and apply LFOs, and then run them through the mastering channel. To me, it's quite a logical kind of 4-step process of processing the audio. But yeah, if you're new to this, have a look at the manual, have a look at my videos, see what you reckon. Okay, any more questions before I get on to the last 50 quid? 50 quid? What country am I in? Well, I'm in the UK, so it's 50 quid. But $50 giveaway. Let me have a quick scan through the chat to make sure, see if I've missed anything. Stefan says it's not so important to have every preset in NKS, but it helps to have the visibility of the instrument high. Nice sounding instrument, by the way. Instant Hollywood. Yeah, definitely. Can LFO be latched to BPM? I think most products sync to BPM within your chosen DAW. Yeah, well, Sample Logic already answered that. The LFOs are tempo synced. Everything is tempo synced. I don't think you can untempo sync anything, especially things like the step sequencing in there. I mean, it's all locked to the BPM of your project. I've been running everything at whatever standalone contact is. I think it's 120. But if you were to, change that, then you're looking at a faster or slower clock speed. Care to tell us the details of your CPU RAM? Just want to know the specs as a gauge of standards. I'll show you what I'm running on at the moment. FYI. I have a couple of different computers, and that's what I'm running on at the moment. An iMac, 5K, 32 gigs. It's a Core i7, so yeah, there's your specs. And it does okay. This doesn't have a particularly huge CPU hit, I haven't found. I mean, considering the amount of processing and stuff that it's doing, I don't know, if you're running like 10 instances of Exosphere or something all at the same time on a laptop, you're going to run into trouble. But yeah, I've not experienced any difficulties really. Only today when I'm trying to run the broadcasting software and stream to YouTube and the webcam and everything like that, and it's a bit like a little bit janky as it goes through. What happens if you overwrite a preset? Can this be undone? Sample Logic says no, you can't undo that. So if you are into loading and saving stuff and you accidentally overwrite a preset, which I guess is possible, but you'd have to find out where they are first, then yeah, you're going to be a bit stuck there. I guess you could always download the same. You could download the product again from Sample Logic. It's 13 gigabytes, so it's pretty big, but yeah, you could do it. I'm not going to go around messing about with the onboard presets. Having said that, I mean, it was going to take you a while to go through all the presets. There's something like 500 multis and similar amount of cores, 1,000 source samples, lots of stuff to play with. Alrighty, I'm going to do my last giveaway. I actually remember what this number is when it came up on the generator earlier. And oh, thanks everybody. Everybody's saying thanks. That's very sweet of you. Again, apologies, no sample cast recently. It's just been crazy. It's been really insane. I had a massive system meltdown and all the templates and everything for the sample cast were lost. So it was going to take me a long time to remake all of those, and had a lot of work on and some other stuff going on in my life, and it just, yeah, it got absolutely insane. I hope it will reappear at some point, but for the moment I'll be doing a few live streams, a bit of jiggery pokery on Facebook. Yeah, do follow the Samplecast if you're not already on Facebook. I tend to put a lot of interesting giveaways, freebies. If companies are doing really good discounts, I stick it on there. It's all good stuff. Okay, are you ready? Get your guesses in. I'm going to give you 20 seconds, a number between 1 and 1,000. Let's go. Here's some tonal stuff. Doesn't sound bad. Playing that live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay, stop. Thank you everybody for tuning in, by the way. If you want to have a look at Exosphere 2 in action, I've done all the walkthrough videos for it. Sample Logic hired me again. I must be doing something right. So there's 3 videos. One is literally just going through a whole bunch of patches. Sounds awesome. One is me chatting about the details, a lot of the stuff that I went through today, but in a lot more structured way. And one is an overview, you know, just if you want a kind of 6 or 7 minute look. Maybe you've come onto this video right now, right at the end, and you've no idea what I've been chatting about. Have a look at the overview video on the Sample Logic site. This number was 33. That did genuinely come up. Who got closest? It's basically who got the lowest number closest to 33. Jake did well. It's Jake, I reckon. Someone confirmed that to me. Vagenda says, I remember this game. I won with Pi last time and never got the code, I don't think. Well, you should email me and I'll check it. Thesamplecast@gmail.com. It's Jake. I reckon Jake's won the last one. I'm going to stick his name in it. Well done, Jake. Do email me, thesamplecast@gmail.com, Jake, and Vagenda as well. If I didn't send out your code last time, it's probably because you didn't email me. So I'll try and get that sorted out. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Congrats, everybody who's won the $50 vouchers. Very generous of Sample Logic to do this. I try and bend their arm when they've got a new product out to see whether they'll give stuff away, and they're normally very kind, and they do. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to have a little bit more Diet Coke, and oh, I forgot one thing. Whoever's watching, give me a second. It's the Sample Cat. He's decided to grace us with his presence this evening. He's normally out looking around the neighbourhood, but here he is. Say hi. Oh, he's so not happy with being on camera. He's not very much of a celebrity, and he gives me a hard time all the time. Hey, Sample Cat. How are you? Poor little thing. I woke him up from his sleep. He's not normally around. There you go. Anyone who stayed to the end gets to see the Sample Cat. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks again to Sample Logic. Anyone who's won, email me, thesamplecast@gmail.com. I'll get those vouchers to you. And yeah, hopefully do another one of these soon. I'm going to leave you with a few presets. And oh, everyone's so sweet about the Sample Cat. Can you type the email address? Yes, thesamplecast@gmail.com for the winners. There you go, guys. Okay, thank you again for joining us. Thank you for being so generous with your time, and yeah, I hope that was informative and useful. And I'm going to get back now. Feed the Sample Cat. Let's have a few presets on the way. Oh, look at that. Now I managed to find a glitchy one after searching for an hour. Ridiculous. Bye all.